We live. Ooh, ooh. Let me give y'all a little music to listen to while we get settled in. Downloaded.
But the real answer to your question is that when it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump.
Shout out to Beat Stars. They always
Otherwise, you
coming
end up
with the
staying in the
dope
same
beats.
place your whole life. And that I can't do.
That's not the one that I was trying to play though. Sometimes Beat Stars throws the wrong song at you. Alright, y'all chill out, vibe out, and we're going. Hey, there she go. We're gonna let the room fill up to 10,000. Give y'all a couple minutes to get in here. Let them know. Come in the building.
What'd you say? I can hear you.
I love you, coffee. Morris.
I'm trying to tell him I should how I bring you in on here.
I won't lie. Let me see. Go to it.
Hold on, this my mom. Ma,
Okay.
you gotta go to YouTube. All right, so click the link in my bio. You clicked it,
I could text her the actual live right now.
or just go to YouTube on your Sorry, y'all gotta give me a sec. Mom's trying to get on the show.
Tell her to just click the link that I'm.
Just go on YouTube and type in the OG Network in your search, and you'll see a live show. Or click on my story. If you click on my story, you know how you look at my story.
Tell
You showing her?
Just
Oh, wait.
text her
We
the
can
live
text you.
link.
No, we're going to text you the link. We'll text you the link. Just look out for the text. Can you hear me? You could text her?
I did. I texted a live link.
Noise Emporium.
She bothering me. Why she bothering me? Oh, I need my sign on in the back. All right, yo, the room's getting full. Mar, what the weather looking like over there?
Let's see. What is the weather here for today? It is.
We can't hear you.
You can't.
You
hear me?
on mute.
I am. Can you hear me
Hold
now?
on, let me put this on and then. Wait, matter of fact, say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can. I can.
Okay. All right. Well, it's 53 and sunny right now, but it's gonna be 75 and sunny today.
Turn your audio up.
Okay.
On you see the gain on the black box?
Yeah.
Turn it up to 10.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but move the mic closer. Come on, we want to hear your voice. You leaning in every time you talk.
All right. What about now?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Good.
All right, so let us hear that weather in
All
week
right,
Chicago.
It's 53 right now, but it's gonna go up to 75 and sunny. So sounds like a good day in the shine.
All right, what we got over here? It's been hot. It's been hot. I had on a sweater in the morning yesterday. I was like, damn, I wore the wrong thing. Yo, a high of 88.
Ooh.
88, mostly sunny.
On a Friday.
On a Friday. Yo, these kids have been blessed with the best spring break. Like, if they got a spring break this week, tap it. Yo, right in the chat if your kids or you, whoever is on spring break this week, y'all had an amazing week. Hopefully y'all got to go to the beach or just sit outside, do something.
Okay, good.
And if you work from home, maybe, well, I guess there's no outlets in the park. I would be outside somewhere.
Yeah, or like outdoor seating, Starbucks with like an outdoor seating or something.
Yeah, so make sure, matter of fact, make sure, take a sec, charge up all your computers, charge up your phone right now, because we're going to be outside all day today. We're going to be outside enjoying the weather. It's better than Chicago and Jersey. I heard Miami. Yo, I'm looking at my Instagram.
It's flooded.
Yo.
Yeah, I saw that the pictures, the cars are swimming and stuff.
But I'm gonna be honest. Last time there was the hurricane, and they said that it was flooding. I saw the videos and stuff, but they said it was for 5 minutes. Now these videos, I don't know, cause these I saw like trucks underwater and everything.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's crazy.
Who knows? But shoot, it's 8:09. Shoot, what's the topic for today?
The topic for today is what we say, let that go. Let it go. And I think this is a good topic because I feel like we always hear oh, heal, work on yourself, let things go so that you can grow. But nobody, well, I'm not to say nobody, but sometimes people don't know what does that look like? What does doing the work looks like? What does healing even look like? And so I think it is a dope topic to talk about because I feel like we're all at that age, or most of us are at that age. And at any age, almost, you're going to be healing from something, working on something, or trying to better yourself for whatever spaces that you're in. And so it's what are some practical steps? What are some things that we've learned? What are some things that the viewers can tell us about their experiences with letting things go or growing or healing? And so I'm excited to talk about that.
My fault, I was on mute, but yeah, and I'm sure everybody will look at it a little differently, when it comes to healing. My mindset is a little bit different on it, I think, than most. And just when we touched on it briefly yesterday, I think, there's too much of an emphasis on, I think a lot of times people just being soft, living in this healing space for too long instead of just getting to work. In my opinion, this is just for me, how I heal in any situation is to move on to the next and get to work on whatever else, needs to happen. You're healing from something, right? So whether it's something on the job, a relationship, or anything else, especially if it comes down to work, just get to work.
Yeah.
I feel like we live in such a a space where we're over pacifying people and say, oh, you got to take time to heal and you got to do this and you got to do that. Maybe it's just different. Maybe I'm just looking at it the wrong way. I'm totally open to that, but I think
Yeah.
it's a little too soft for me.
Right. So, okay, let me see. I'm gonna turn off my echo cancellation. Okay, whatever.
And shout out to Tafari, your big bro in the building.
Hi, Tafari. So this is what I think, and I understand your point when you say that, because some people can allow certain things to linger, right? But I also have learned that like healing is not this like one stop shop thing. Like you're not just gonna be like, oh, I'm healed now, so I can just move forward in every aspect of my life. And I think also, like we talked about last week, self reflection, giving yourself that time to like really sit with yourself, see what's working, see what's not working, be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, find somebody that you can be honest with so that they can tell you, like, hey, like maybe you can work more in this area and this is where you can do certain practices or certain things so that you can get better at certain areas. And I will say too, there's a lot of, can you hear me? There's a lot of things that we may not even know that we're doing or that we may need healing from until we get around different people or different environments. I have this funny story, and it's not as embarrassing. It's very funny, but my homegirl, she's older than me. She's like maybe 10 years, maybe like 8 to 10 years older than me, right? And so when I was in my 20s, I was at her crib, and she was cooking fish or whatever, and I said salmon, like not the correct way. So I said salmon, right? So she's like, you don't say it like that. It's salmon or whatever. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't eat that anyway. How ignorant is that? For me to say, like, well, I don't never have to need to know how to say it. Like, doesn't matter because I don't eat it. But I was so defensive and being wrong. Like, I was dead wrong. And I was defensive about it. And it was like, even though in that little area, she was just like, no, you should know how to say it, like, regardless, like, whatever. And I was like, I don't think I do. How many times, and as I've gotten older, this was when I was like 20, but how many times have I gotten older where I've been so defensive about little stuff rather than just learning or taking the opportunity to learn and looking at it as like, okay, well, every day you get a new chance to learn something different rather than being defensive in my wrongness. So that was just something little that showed up in other areas. Like, where else am I defensive? Where else am I rejecting the opportunity to grow? So it was like, it may seem little funny then, but like also it showed up in other spaces. So it took for me to say, well, I want to learn something new, or I have to learn to be receptive to somebody telling me. Everybody's not telling me stuff to make me feel stupid. She wasn't correcting me to, make me feel dumb. She was correcting me so that I don't go out into other spaces sounding crazy, saying things incorrectly. So even just little things like that, just me being defensive was like, stop.
Yeah,
You don't
you're a
need to do
very
that.
defensive person. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. But the way she
but-
paused, she acted, you got a little sense that it may be true.
Yeah, but that was something that I had to heal through. Like literally, what happened the other day when you were showing me when I was like, "Oh, I can park backwards. I've never done that. I don't want to do that." Literally, I was like, "You were like, nah, let's do it." It took all of 5 seconds, and I was able to do it. Now, maybe the old me would have been like, "I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not messing. This is not even my car." Like, no, I just listened, and I was like, "Okay, oh shit." It didn't even take that long, and I got it. So I think that me being willing to be receptive to help instead of rejecting it, it's like little moments like that where it's like, yes. That like I felt good after that. I wasn't like, I didn't need a gold sticker or anything, but those were like something where it's like I allowed somebody to teach me something new that's gonna help me later on. And I didn't reject it or get defensive.
Yeah, that's interesting because you kind of made a connection for me that I'm not sure, everybody, may have thought the same thing, but there's a connection between like being like taking constructive criticism and then like living in a sad healing victim space, in my opinion. Maybe this is just because it's relevant to me, where it's something that I can't stand, like it just bothers me, where people just kind of sit in this space instead of just, get up, go out, make something happen. That's what healing is. Healing is getting better,
Yeah.
rather than just staying in the same place or just getting worse. So
Right.
yeah, there's a lot of constructive criticism, and why I say, and I, because I feel like it can come across as insensitive when I say I'm not with all, like, the society's healing and just pushing all this healing on people, because I feel like it creates a lot of weak people that will just stay in that kind of victim space rather than just taking constructive criticism from somebody else that's trying to get them better, and just accepting that and then just moving forward and becoming a better version of themselves. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess it's different for everybody, everybody, but whenever somebody says it's different for everybody, I always say no, it's not, because we always try to act like we're so unique. We're not. We're not. In my opinion, we are unique, obviously, in some ways, but overall, I always feel like we are much more alike than we are different. We react to the same things. We wear the same things. We listen to the same things. We eat the same things. But I just feel as if, that healing that we talk about, it's almost used as an excuse for people, like, oh, I'm just healing, so don't bother me.
Yeah.
Like don't talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
don't criticize me right now because I'm healing. Like this, I'm allowed this time to just not, get better, to not deal with my issues because I'm in this healing space. And I don't know, maybe this is insensitive how I'm looking at it.
No, I don't think it's insensitive because when you're healing, sometimes people don't realize, like when they say doing the work, it is doing the work, right? So if you are really trying to heal from certain things, there's time, like there's what I'm trying to say. There's active things that you need to be doing. There's things that you have to do, right? So if I look at it this way, there are certain people who, okay, yeah, they were the victim, they were abused in some manner or whatever, so they have to kind of work on not being the victim anymore or not growing from whatever harmed them or whatever trauma that they have. But I think the reason why it can be annoying is because we're overstimulated because it's popular right now, right? And so we're hearing it from all different places, all different spaces. Just like a pair of sneakers are popular, healing is popular. So everybody's just doing it or think that they're doing it. And it just comes off as like, okay, you're healing too. Like, I don't want to hear that. But I think, what was it, like last year I got with this lady. She's like a spiritual healer type thing or whatever, right? She had me do pros and cons list about myself. Like, what are the things that you like about yourself? What are those ugly things that you don't like about yourself? That was eye opening to me because if I was going to be honest, I could be like, well, there's nothing I don't like about myself. No, you can be this way. You can be this way. This doesn't work. What's not actually working? Or what do you want to work that's not working? And so opening your eyes to that and realizing that there's a connection between healing, but also like doing the work, actually saying, okay, you know what? I am going to get up every day at 5 a.m. and journal before I do anything else. Or I am going to get up every day at 5 a.m. and go work out. Or I am going to get up and sit with myself before I have to interact with my children. Like, those are the steps. So when you're saying like, hey, I need some alone time, what are you doing in that alone time to build yourself up to when you have to go back out into these spaces? So yeah, some people will use it as an excuse. Like, oh, because I'm healing, I can't talk to you. Well, who are you talking to? Because you do need to be talking to somebody. You do need to be working through something. And then there is times for when you do need to be alone. But it's all about in what spaces are you trying to grow in, and what spaces are you trying to heal in, and are you actually doing the work? Because
Yeah.
healing is not just like sitting in one spot and meditating.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. And I think some people just can look at it like that.
Yeah, and with social media, like maybe I'm just turned off from it because of like social media on Instagram, where people are announcing that they're in the healing season, and it's like, bro, nobody cares. Like, just do your work on your own. Like, I hate that we have to advertise everything, and when I see people advertising that they're healing, to me it's just like, on one end it's corny, but it's also, I see it as just fake. I see it as, something you're just trying to get some likes from. It's damn near like putting up a naked like pic. People gonna like it. People gonna embrace it. It allows you to live in this victim mode while almost seeming as a hero to people. It's like if you announce that you're healing on Instagram, like let's clap for him. Oh my God, let's clap for her. Like they're so strong. Like nah, do that. Like do that on your own. In my opinion.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I think if you're just announcing, like, oh, guys, look, I'm healed, like, okay, that's one thing. But I, for one, find that, like, you can find community on social media. You can find community. So it's like, what, if I'm talking about my journey, okay, how I healed myself from being defensive, right? If I'm giving a story time, if I'm showing you guys, like, hey, these are the steps that I did to go from A to D, and this is what I did. What are some things that, like, if you're trying to create community, if you're, it's all about intentions too. Because even when we post certain things, what are your intentions behind it? What are you trying to gain from it? Now, yeah, some people might just be like, look at my left arm, look at my right arm. We don't give a fuck. But it's like, look at my left arm. This represents A, B, and C. And this is, so when you're getting into it in that standpoint, I don't think there's anything wrong with it because there may be somebody who's like, oh, wow, Kamari, I was dealing with that same thing. Like, who did you talk to or what did you go through? So it's all about intent to me when you are announcing that you're healing. Or it could be like, I went on this retreat and these are the things that we did. So I think it's all about intentions. And I also think that, I don't know. So,
No, I get what you're saying. You can find good things from any space. You can find good things from any space. I just feel as if, I guess I already let it know, be knowing how I feel.
it's just annoying.
Yeah, it's just more so when you're doing all that type of stuff, you're almost giving more power to the actual thing that caused you pain, rather than just like getting like why even focus on it. I just see it as you're living in that traumatic state rather than just moving on from it. And
Right.
I know people will say, well, everybody heals differently, but I don't know. I look at it, and a good thing, how I look at it, a good example, I should say, is black people. Black people, like we hold on to so much stuff that's just not in our best interest. It's not that we should just let it go because we shouldn't talk about slavery anymore. We shouldn't talk about this. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it like, yo, we need to let that shit go, whatever we've been focusing on, and figure out a different solution because it hasn't been working. So I approach anything else with the same, whether it's a basketball game, football game, anything. You can't just focus on, the traumatic experience. What were we talking about? Energy. What your mind focuses on the most, that's what's going to happen in reality. So when we focus on what life is going to be like to get on the other side of that, or to get better, or to get stronger, to improve in various areas, then that's what's going to show, rather than us just giving power to that situation, person that hurt us or that put us in this traumatic state. And a lot of times we overdo it. Like I see so much victim stuff on Instagram where people want to encourage you. First they have to encourage you that there's a problem. They have to kind of convince you that there's a problem. So therefore, then you'll allow them to solve it. So people in society, they will say like, yo, this is wrong. This is wrong. Like, you should feel bad about this. You should feel bad about this. But we can help you. So it's almost like we're getting finessed, how I see it, to live in this kind of healing space rather than a building space.
Right. I mean, and I look at it this way. When you are really doing the work, you are not really entertaining large spaces anyway, right? You are talking to the people that are actually helping you. You're actually doing the work. So that's that. I think we're just overstimulated, right? But I think when it comes to, like you said, with black people and how we stay stuck, me and Michelle, we were talking yesterday, and we were like, the black church wants you to stay, in these pockets of constant like needing Jesus and God, I need you because I don't have this, or you fill my cup up because I'm lacking. And literally, I don't know what it was. I think I posted it years ago on Facebook, but I was reading in the Bible, it's this thing, it's Colossians 2, I believe. But I'm just gonna paraphrase, but it was talking about like, I've already done my job. God is saying like, you go out and live. Like, stop sitting in churches, stop sitting around groups and trying to, talk about what isn't working and all the time, but actually doing the steps to be out and live and be your best life. So a lot of times, we can be tricked into thinking that we need to sit and shit when it really, the point is to, okay, acknowledge, do the work, grow from it, and move on. Because there's always going to be something to work on. There's always going to be something to grow from. And I also look at it this way too, like when
Stay
you're
with the
healing,
church though.
I don't, for what?
Stay with that for, because I think that's you want to know why? Because the church is supposed to be for healing, right?
The church can be
in
for
some
a lot
ways.
of different reasons. That's what it's supposed to be.
Why I'm saying stick to it is because we need to understand how these things work. Anything that is pushed as something that can heal you, they don't want to heal you 100%. Like whether it's a pharmaceutical company, whether it's anything, when you go to the across the board, if I have a medicine, would it be better business for me if I have something, a product that you have to take consistently for the rest of your life? Or would I make more money by just this one pill? Or maybe it's not even a pill, maybe it's just telling you to eat fruit, but it's something that I can't make money off of. So that's the mindset that I want us to look at when it comes to church or any other place that is claiming to be a healing space. If you are 100% healed, like businesses benefit off of us not being healed. So therefore, if you are healed 100%, you're not going to need that person as much. So whether it's the church, whether it's the Democrats, whether it's anything else that we feel, whether it's your personal trainer, it could be anything across the board. Once you get to a point where you can manage something on your own, sorry, Fari, but you get what I'm saying. But once you get to a certain point where you can do it on your own, then that takes away power from the people that used to have so much power over you because you thought that you needed them.
So you're 100% right. And so when I look at that, it is so important to have a relationship with yourself. Anything that you are growing from, healing from, or any relationship you're in should always bring you back to yourself. So when you're in those moments like we talked about last time, doing self-reflection, what isn't working? So I've been at this church 20, 30 years. I'm in the same position. I'm still broke. I'm still sad about it. So clearly this may not be working, right? And so I look at, like now I think the church is losing its value because people they ain't trying to hear that no more. They're not trying to hear the same old songs, the same old preachings, the same old stuff. So yeah, any space that you're in, if you're not elevating from a different mindset, if you're not growing from your pain, or if you're not doing the work, leave the church. I'm not promoting stay somewhere where you're sick, because it's getting out for a very long time. The churches have gotten money, gotten resources, and they're not giving back to the people. Like, it's up to us to evaluate. My leg still hurts, and I'm going same. I got to do something different. So it's up to us to say, okay, if I'm going to do something different, what does that look like? Researching. Okay, you can get on Pinterest. It may say you need to do an all-fruit diet for your leg to stop hurting, or it may need for you to run for whatever it is that you need to do. So if something's not working, let it go, because it's not working.
So being in healthcare, I work with various specialties, but some of the ones that I interact with the most, chiropractors, even physical therapy. But when I hear people that they're going to chiropractors for years, they're going to PT consistently for years, to me that's that you're not healing. Like, they just need you to keep coming back, because every time you come back, they get paid.
Right.
And I know, and I know this because some of the chiropractors that I work with, their mindset is, if you're still here in 6 months, then I'm not doing something good. You need to go find somebody else.
Right.
Other chiropractors, their mindset is, listen, we're going to treat them, but we don't want to heal them, because if they're not here, then that's no business for us. And I think we give too much credit to the former, thinking that, or we credit most doctors as being the former as far as really caring and really wanting to heal, and most businesses as having that mindset, when in reality people are just looking out for their pockets. People are going to look out for their
Yeah.
pockets, and everything is a business. So if we just look at things from a certain perspective as like what would make, like, what is in the best interest of this person that is telling me that they can heal me, like what, put myself in their position, and then
Right.
having the understanding that for me to be healed, it may not be in their best interest. So that's why I say, like, just don't sit in that space, like you said, if you're not getting healed, and understand the big picture and stop getting like suckered into all this stuff.
Yeah. Don't do what doesn't work. Stop saying don't do what doesn't work. And so I think that when you're really doing the work, you can see, like, everybody has, like, okay, not everybody has friends, but like if you look at it this way, you have a friend that if you go to them and you give them a problem, they'll be like, oh no, girl, you fine, you good. And then you may go to another friend that's like, nah, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? So it's like knowing what spaces to show up in. Because if you know there's friends that are going to give you action oriented stuff, like literally, I always can give examples for myself. Somebody has said something to me, and my initial reaction was like, no, they did not just talk to me like that. And I was like, wait a minute, that I got offended too quickly. Let me sit back. Matter of fact, let me outsource. Let me call my homegirl, who I know is going to give me the real all the time. And I explained to her what happened. She's just like, nah, you wrong. Like, you're not right. Like, you know, and I'm like, and I was like, okay, well, explain to me. Because explain to me how I'm not right. But I'm wanting to do the work in that area. So it's like, explain to me how I'm not. And she was just like, well, this could have went this way if you reacted this way or whatever. She just gave me advice. And I was like, all right, cool. And I didn't overreact when I came back to the situation. But it takes more to get into that space. Like if you're really trying to do the work, you're going to ask questions, you're going to do it, but you're going to go to the source that you know is going to work. You're not going to go to the friend that's going to be like, girl, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you got to know where to go. And it all, like I said, it all comes back to self-reflection. It all comes back to being by yourself, being honest with yourself, and doing the work to change. And if nothing is changing, clearly you're not healing. And that's where people have to kind of learn to be honest. Like, maybe you're not healing because nothing is changing. But it's so wide because so many people are dealing from so many different things. And I've also learned that if you don't know what your triggers are, or what certain triggers are, and sometimes we won't know until maybe we have kids. We don't know until maybe we interact with like a new boss or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's just almost like if a business where somebody gets a new manager, and now he comes in and is like, hey, we're going to do things this way. Now all the workers are like, whoa, we've been doing it this way for 20, 30 years. Well, we trying something different. People are not, necessarily receptive to it, but in order to grow, I'm here because this business isn't growing. So therefore, I'm going to implement new ways, and you're either going to ride with it or you're just going to leave. And so I think I look at it, that way too.
Yeah.
I said
And
a
getting
lot,
back
but-
to, oh, go ahead. No, you fine. I think it was good. It was good to hear. But in getting back to the overall, let that shit go. It's really about, like, I guess that would be a huge step in any quote unquote healing process, letting it go, whether it's a relationship, like letting that strain that's got a hold on you, just let that shit go. Like, yeah, oh, they promised y'all 40 acres and a mule, bruh. Like, let that shit go and go get some money. Like, and that's the thing where I, and it's election season, so I'm always gonna throw the politics in, especially now I got a reason. I feel like it's always election season, but we ask, like, it's like the whole reparation thing. Like, we ask for all these things, and the reparations is a form of healing. You can look at it as a form of get back, whatever it is, but most people see it as something that can heal them. Reparations ain't gonna heal anything, first and foremost. Second off, it's probably not gonna happen. Third off, like, there's no amount of reparations that can be given to me that is gonna be more than I can make by simply just going out there, applying myself to something, and getting to the bag myself. But we will spend so much time focusing on, oh, you know, we deserve this because we went through this, we deserve that, we did it. Yo, we may be 100% right, but being 100% right and losing is not better than just winning. Like,
Right.
go out there, let that shit go. Like, however you look at it, I look at it as a war. We took a L. It is what it is. Now we asking for some participation trophies and stuff like that. No, 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 no. I'm just gonna figure out a way to win, and then I'm gonna put my foot on your neck when I'm at the top, because now you're gonna try to come and take my spot. It's just competition. It just is what it is. I don't
Right.
look at it like I don't want any favors. I don't want any of that. And the reason why I'm saying I don't want it is because it just doesn't work. We've been given handouts. We've been given all these stuff that's quote unquote supposed to make us heal, but all it does is make us more dependent on the thing that we're claiming destroyed us. So I kind of just look at it as, yo, let that shit go, move on, get that shit out of your head, stop focusing on it, and focus on winning.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, everybody doesn't have that like competitive spirit in them, and I think that people should, and I'm not saying that that's wrong, because at the end of the day, you could be waiting longer doing nothing for some reparations you may or may not get, and this whole time 20 years has passed by, 30 years has passed by, and you still haven't gotten to the amount of success that you want to get to. So yeah, I definitely agree when it comes to that reparations stuff. I mean, like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But you still got to be moving forward. You still got to be aiming to get where you're trying to go. And it's almost like, when you're working with kids, like, if I'm trying to teach Michi how to get on the monkey bars, there at some point I gotta let go, and he might fall, he might not fall, he might learn to grip himself or catch himself, but I have to be willing to allow him to do that. If I catch him every single time, or if I'm holding him every single bar, he's not gonna feel comfortable. He's gonna be looking for me to do that, and so it's like, no, go be free. You're gonna fall regardless, with or without me. So I think that, yeah, that's a good point. So,
And if
I
he
don't think
falls,
that
what
we
do you
should
do? You tell him to let it
back up
go,
and try again.
get back up. Yo, just get
But
back
here's
to it.
right. But here's the thing. And so in saying that, it's like some kids may be like, "Oh, I don't want it." I mean, I'm just giving you from a
Most
kid's
kids
point.
would, especially the kids that are
Most,
growing
yeah,
up now.
because they're. But here's the thing. They're resilient. So they're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna have fun. They'll bounce it back off. But as we get older, sometimes we bust our ass one time and we're like, oh no, this ain't for me. But it's like, have that same spirit as a kid. Like, get back up again, because you might just get it on the second thing. And so that sometimes too, when talking about healing and letting shit go, yeah, like, okay, I failed this test, but I'm going to take it again, because the goal, the thing that I want, the thing that's on the other side, that healing, I want that. You know what I'm saying? People
And,
like,
and yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, go, please.
No, I was just gonna say, like, my driver's license. I learned how to drive later in life. I failed the first time, and I was like, I want my license. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm about to be 25. I want my license. Like, I waited too late, and so I kept trying. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, it's about what is it that you want, and so that's a part of the healing too. Like, what do you want? And so yeah.
Yeah, I failed my permit, the written one, but, and it cost me like a whole nother year getting my license, because then the warning notices came out and I had to whatever. Yo, back to the point with Meech. Think about it like this. I think that's a great example, because you have your nephew. He's on the monkey bars. He falls. You fall back. Let him go. Do it. Be a big boy. He falls. There's a few different approaches that can be now taken. Do you just let him sit there and just like coddle him and just say, hey, you banged your knee, like, just take some time, just get your mind right, like let the wipe the dirt off, just let your knee heal a little bit. Is he gonna feel better that way, or what's gonna make him a better person? Both. Or if you like, yo, get back up there, and now he's getting back up there and he's like realizing like, yo, I can do this. Which is going to get the better results? Like, sitting down and soaking, or let it go, move on to the next and get better?
Well, here's the thing. It depends on the fall, right? So, right. So say he falls and he's not like, because you know how kids are too. So it just depends on what happens in that fall. Now, if he's just like, some kids may fall and be like, I don't want to do it again, or I'm scared, I'm scared. It's like, no, you have to be like, all right, you good. Like if they didn't actually hurt themselves, like to the point where they may need to like sit down for a second and get it together, like whatever. But either way, the goal
We
is to
need more
get back up.
fathers raising our
No,
young
no,
men.
don't do that because some people do need to, they do need like they do, but the goal is always to get right back up. We're not going to try another day. Like if we're talking about that exact example, no, we're not going to try another day. We're going to wipe it off and then you're going to try again. Like in that moment, I don't think that you got to just force it. Yeah, there are some things that you just got to like dust yourself off and try again. I don't agree with just go back up there. No. But whatever. But you're a man, and so that may be the difference. But I do think that it depends on what happens when you fall
All
and
right, so let's
what
read
their
some of these
reaction is.
comments.
Yeah, let's see what they say. There's
So
parents. There's some
Queez,
parents in
Queez,
here.
huh?
I said there's some parents in here. They can talk.
Yeah. Quee said everything is a business. I 100% agree. Your pop said everything starts with you. What are you willing to do about your situation? 100% agree. That's the accountability that we talk about. What are you willing to do about your situation, Meech? You just fell. What are you willing to do? Do you want to sulk? No, get back up there. I don't care. Unless your leg is broken, get back up there now.
Right.
Because that's what life is. Life is you can't always take time to figure out, oh, well, let me just take some time to myself. If you're not injured, get back up now. As soon as you get hurt, you need to figure out a way to get better. Like that's life. Like we act like we have so many different opportunities when it comes to this and we have so much time. Nah, we're losing. It's getting worse. We're going in the wrong direction. And as soon as something happens, we need to snap out of it and get back to it in the positive direction. Just my opinion. Hold on. Then there's another comment.
Yeah.
For me, there is no such thing as failure. For me, failure means not yet, try again. I agree. Yo, you decide whether or not you fail. We all decide whether or not we fail. May take a little L here and there. It could be a loss. It is what it is, but learn from it. And I'm never failing, bro. I fail when I give up. That's just how I see
Right.
stuff. So if you fall down, like to me, there's no advantage. And I mean, I get it. Like you got to kind of regroup and plan in a certain way. But if it's some stuff, you just get right back to it. Like,
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. It just like once that fall happens or once something happens, yeah, there's certain things you can reassess and there's certain things just get right back up. You know what I'm saying? So I just think like it's just a matter of what is it that you failed at? What is it that you well not failed at? What is it that you need to try again? So I think it just circumstance, like, it goes off circumstantial. Is that the word? Yeah.
yeah. And this brings up another point too, and we might have touched on this on another episode where, let that shit go. And you may have mentioned it earlier, letting people go, I'm letting any negative energy go. I keep going back to these books. Yo, first off, everybody should be reading a book right now. Write in the chat what book you're reading right now. If you're not reading a book right now, then you're not serious about life. You're not serious about life if you're not reading a book right now. Because everybody has time. You're watching all these goofy TV shows. I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying, especially the people under 40 who are in that age range, especially, you need to be reading books. You're not serious about your growth if you're not. And I was just reading about it where, I just lost my train of thought.
You were
I
talking
just
about
lost my
negative
train.
people.
Oh yeah, and he was saying how he cut off. It doesn't matter whether it's family, whether it's friends. A lot of times, those would be the main people that you got to cut off. The people that you thought are so close to you. But anybody that's bringing negative energy, that's not promoting you to get to where you want to get to, or that's shaming you in some type of way, or that's letting you may not even know that it's negative. But anybody who's allowing you to just lay on that floor, lay on that ground for too long, and not pushing you to get right back up and get to it again, cut them out. Cut them out. We got to be ruthless with cutting out people and cutting out negative situations because it's going to impact us. It's energy that we're allowing in, and that's going to project in our lives one day or another. So
Yeah, I mean, you just look at what's working too. Like, I think sometimes the hard part about that is it's like the people that are failing us, or the people that are negative to us, are people that we don't want to be those people. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes it's like, damn, it had to be you.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a
nah,
good
like,
point.
you
That's a
know what I'm
good
saying?
point.
So it's like, fuck, like I thought you was, you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's something that, sometimes it's hard. It makes it, but it's this is necessary. And it's hard because I think that we always want to have hope, right, for certain people or for certain things, because like, they got the potential, they have the potential to grow, they have the potential to help me do this. And it's just like, that potential ain't potentialing because they're not looking to come out of that space of being negative. And then also it all comes back to that self-reflection, like, what is really working? If I'm talking to this person, what are we talking about? And this hour on the phone, was it productive? Or was this hour on the phone talking about somebody else, or talking about shit that's not putting me in the position to grow in the ways that I want to grow? And some things are seasonal, right? So I also look at, like, in this season of grinding, or in this season of growing, okay, yeah, I probably can't talk to this person. But I also learned too, when you're aligning yourself with doing better, life is going to show you. People are going to stab you in the back. People are going to do some weird shit. Like, and then you're like, oh, okay, this season, you know? So I think life will show you if you let it. But we have to be willing to say, like, fuck, I didn't think it was going to be my grandma. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Ha. Hey, Graham's got to go. If Graham's on that, she got to go. And let me be clear, it's not just about naked. Sorry, I got the windows open. I don't
It's
know if y'all
okay.
can hear
It's
the
a beautiful
sirens,
day,
but
right?
yeah, it's beautiful. Y'all hear the
It's
birds
better than
chirping, all that.
Chicago, right?
But my my point is that even if, like, we need to understand what negative is. Negative is not always somebody talking bad about you, or as upfront as we may think it is. Negative could come in the form of love and somebody making you feel amazing. Like, somebody could make you feel amazing and say, you know what, you're just fine how you are. You're just fine how you are.
Right.
I'm cutting that person off. How could you? Because that means you think that where I am right now, like, you don't think that I can grow to a certain point. You don't think when you start
Right.
telling people all your goals and your dreams, and they're like, nah, you're good where you're at. What? I'm cutting that person off immediately. And if a person doesn't have big dreams themselves, and shout out to Tafari, who just wrote, most people fail to even start, so they are already failures. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think of, Tafari. Tafari, I like being around Tafari because he got big dreams. He's got an imagination. He's thinking about stuff. If people, I can't be around somebody that just wants to be basic, that
Right.
just goes through life. I see opportunity in any situation, any conversation, any interaction that I have. I'm seeing opportunity because I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. So
Right.
people that just have this mindset to where, I'm just kind of cool where I'm at. I don't care how much money you're making, even if you're making a lot of money right now. If you're just content and stagnant where you are, I don't want to be around you, yo, because that's not the energy that I'm on. That's not the energy that I need. I'm being selfish with that. That's not the energy I need to get to where I want to get to. So I'm out, and
Yeah.
and I can't be around that person.
Yeah. It's,
My friends that I don't talk to a lot, and sorry I'm rambling, but Queez,
you
you'll
making sense though.
in the group chat, I told my homies, all my homies in the group chat, there's like 11 or 12 of us. We've all known each other since like 4 or 5 years old, maybe like 5, 6, whatever it is. I told cats, yo, I'm not talking to y'all for a year. And I've done it before. I did it like 5 years. And it's because I know only certain cats in that group message are on what I'm on. There's a reason why Queez is on here right now. I know that Queez was reading a book. I know what Queez is looking to do. I know Queez has dreams and goals. And beside all that, he has the desire and the discipline to get there. I want to be around and talk to people like that. I don't want to be around people where I'm talking about, doing amazing things and they're talking about, like, their highlight, I just want to be able to get happy hour on Friday. Like, I don't want to be around that. Like, I can't.
And you don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that we have to understand too. You don't have to be. And sometimes people will tell you you're good where you're at because they don't want to see you grow, because that intimidates them. You know what I'm saying? So you really also have to understand who you're around and their motives and how they live their life. But I think also too, like, I had to distance myself. I don't want to say cut off, because I really do believe in her potential. But there was somebody that I was just like, I have to distance myself from, because every day was a bad day. Every day was a bad day. Bro, I'm happy go lucky. Like, that's regardless of what I've been through, regardless of anything, like that's how I wanna be sunshine, like for real, like all the time. And people who be like, "Oh, I just ain't like that," or I don't, and I don't need to be like, okay, girl,
Yeah.
like for real, because it's one of those things where it's like every single interaction, it was complaining, it was talking about what we don't have, it was talking about how, like, oh, well, I don't know, but every day was a bad day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And for me
Yeah.
as a friend, it was draining. And for me, it was like, I'm not that person. So I have to really understand that, like, this shit is bringing me down. This conversation is not motivating. This interaction is making me feel less than. And so I'm going to get off.
She's stealing your energy. She's stealing your
Right.
good energy. Like,
And she'll never be able to have a planning mindset, okay, so if I call myself the idea pusher, if I can't run ideas through with you, or if I can't bring an idea to you and you're not like, oh, that's how you do this, or what about have you if I can't get that, I'm probably like, all right, let me call you back, or I'm not even
you
listening.
can't add any value to
Right.
where I'm trying to get to, then I'm sorry.
And if I
Like,
can't do that for you,
and if I can't
'cause
do that for
it's a
you, I don't want to be around
yeah.
somebody. And when I see, that's another great point. Being in sales, that's why sales is so dope. You learn very quickly that the more to be successful, you have to understand and evaluate very quickly in a conversation, interaction, how can I bring value to this person? And once you do that, then you can have what you're asking for as far as them bringing value to you. So I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, because I feel like it's I want us to all be growing. I want us to all be flowing. Like a couple weeks ago, well maybe a couple months ago, I started this group chat with some of my girlfriends, and it was just like just checking in, like, okay, how's your week going? How are you gonna reward yourself for getting through this week? How are Monday, what do we need to work on this week? How can we help each other? Right? And so that was good for me to be able to do that with my girlfriends. And one of my girlfriends was like, girl, like, I love this. Like, can we keep this going? Can we? Because it was something that she wasn't doing, and it was adding value to her life, giving her community. And she was like, I'm rocking with it. I wasn't doing it before, but I'm rocking with it now. And so now she's like, let's do this. So I think there is space for, if you're giving people a little bit of what you do or whatever, and they're able to say, like, I like this and I want to grow with this, yeah, come along. Like, now we can keep going. But that person is just like, oh, this week was terrible. Oh, I don't, I'm not doing nothing this weekend. Okay, well, maybe just exit out. Like,
And if you're a chaotic person, like if you always have negative situations happen, if you're always complaining, it's you. Like, it's you. And like I got friends that do the same thing, where one in particular, homegirls, they always like to vent to their homeboys in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, they feel like, oh, give me a perspective on this. And every time I already know what's coming, and I hit them with the, oh, like I could feel it coming, like, oh, you got time, or it's about to be a long conversation, and I'm like, nah, like I can't do it. I'm like, oh, yo, let me shoot, I want to be locked in when you tell me this, but so just give me some time and I'm gonna call you right back, because right now I'm just, and it's like, like that, those conversations I'm running from, because like you don't even realize, if you're always at the center of negativity and chaos and just things not going your way, you are the common factor in all of that. It's you.
right.
And nobody, and I don't want to be around you.
But here's the beautiful thing in that, right? Yeah, that song "Bag Lady" by Erica Badu, right? She talks about that, like, you just carrying all this bags, carrying all this luggage, and people are running from you, basically. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what that
it's
song's
like,
about?
yeah, listen to it.
Oh, shoot. Check it out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you are like, yo, I just called Dak, he ain't trying to hear that. I just called this person, they ain't trying. Let me sit with myself and be like, damn, okay, let me really, reflect on what's going on. But sometimes people have to get to that point of like everybody dissing them and then they by themselves, and not taking it personal, but taking it personal, where it's like, all right, maybe I am the problem. What does that look like to get out of that? You get what I'm saying? So I think there's an opportunity for those people to grow if they realize and can pay attention. Like, sit with yourself. Like, really, like, if we want to talk about healing and we want to take some like real steps starting today, and this is for anybody, sit with yourself for 30 minutes and really reflect on what is working in my life and what is not working, and maybe dissect, because like even when it comes to dating, it's like, okay, I may be the problem because like I haven't met anybody, or this isn't working, or this is like, okay, and not being afraid to say I'm not the problem, because when you realize that you're the problem, it's only up from here. If you can say, you know what I'm saying, like maybe I need to adjust, maybe I need to shift, maybe I need to, it's really only up, because at the end of the day, if you do desire community, if you do desire a person, you're like, okay, I got to do something because what I'm doing is getting me nothing.
Something got to change, right?
Yeah, for real.
Like,
And
if you
but you
keep
have to be
changing the
open to that.
people and nothing changes, like if you keep changing the other people and nothing changes, then you gotta self-reflect, like you said. Look internally and figure it out, just based on what's going on, what you're putting out there, and ask
Right.
people. Ask people. Ask maybe somebody
can
that
I
you may
do?
have been dating, or ask somebody that you may ask your old boss. Ask whoever. Like, yo, what was I doing wrong? Get as much information as possible, because just seeing it from a different perspective may allow you, you know, to kind of hold that and to change it, rather than to act like it's not even there. Like, sometimes we can't see our own blind spots. So it may
Yeah.
just be a blind spot for us, but if somebody, and to me, if you're asking people, it shows that you actually care about it. Like, hey, what was some stuff, like what did I do wrong? You know, where did I go wrong here? I remember I got cut from my seventh grade basketball team, and my dad made me call the coach up and be like, "Yo, what did I do wrong? Like, what did he made me do that? He made me confront it in that way, just because he's like, yo, take ownership of that. Figure out, if you don't know what you need to work on to get better, then how can you get better? You're just kind of fooling yourself with activity that you think is what they're looking for, rather than actually improving.
Right. And that's why I said there's beauty in being the problem or being wrong, because you can fix it. You can, you know what I'm saying? And that's why it's good to have honest people. Look at your friends. Who's winning? Who has what you want? You don't have to be jealous. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be jealous. You can see, okay, damn, this person is winning. Damn, this person just finished school. This person is doing this. This person is doing that. Okay, if I want that, if I desire that, then let's change the conversation. So now when I'm calling them, I'm not talking about bullshit. I'm talking about, yo, I just seen that you passed the bar. Like, what was that process like? Or I just seen you lost 80 pounds. Like, what was that like? Or, whatever. Being willing to be coachable, being willing to ask questions. And because at the end of the day, it's all gonna help you. It's all gonna grow you. It's all gonna take you from sitting in shit to actually being cleaned of that. So I think, yeah, just taking accountability, but also like what your dad did. Find out what's not working. What can I do to be better? And I think when you get to that space, you don't got to pay nobody, because you already have that mindset of like, I want to be better. I want to know how to get better. And the people that are going to tell you are the people that failed you, the people that said, no, I'm going to give him an F today, or I'm going to cut you from the team. They're going to tell you because they sometimes want to see you do better too. So it just depends.
Yeah. Or you'll end up paying somebody, like you'll realize the issue and then pay somebody to get to the next challenge. You're like, I overcame this one. I'm not going to sit here and just keep paying my chiro so I can, figure out why my back's hurting. Nah,
Right.
next thing, I'm going to get my back right. Then I'm going to pay somebody. I'm going to pay Tafari, teach me how to box. I want to learn how to
Right.
box. Then if I have another goal, I'm going to have somebody pay them to teach me how to do something else, but to keep climbing rather than to
Right.
just stay in the same place.
Right. And like you said, to have goals attached to what it is that you want to do.
Right.
So, yeah, if you have a goal to say, I want to get my knee better because I want to run a marathon, then you're not going to just keep going to the chiro, because you're going to be like, okay, there's something else that I have to implement in order for me to run, because this is just level A, level B, level C. So, yeah, it's all about elevating, but getting to what it is that you want.
So letting that shit go sounds like it could be a valuable tool for all of us, and we all need to do it in different areas. You know, even me sitting here saying like, yo, you gotta let that shit go. There's certain areas where I need to, you know, be more aggressive in letting stuff go. But I think it's something that we all can use to just get to that next level. And when we look at it as take the victim, you know, the feeling bad for ourselves out of it, and we're only able to look at it from a performance standpoint. What are my goals? You know, where do I want to be? Then we'll understand very quickly that we need to let go a lot of that past stuff that's been draining us, that's been serving us as excuses or whatever else that may just keep us in the same place or worse. We need to kind of just let that go in order to move forward and just get to new wins.
Yeah.
And
Seems
so
working.
so it's Friday. It's Friday. We wanted to finish y'all off on a high note. We knew that me being very cynical would take y'all down a negative path a little bit, but it's negative because sometimes we need to have that, you know, direct talk. I don't think it's negative, but it is what it is. Y'all may take it. Y'all may have to sit on it. But one of the ways and one of the things that Kamari and I have been talking about a lot, our energy, projection, what we manifest, what we focus on, how powerful our minds are. It's literally everything that we create in our minds, it's going to happen. Our life right now is a reflection of what we focused on for the last years in our minds. So that's, you know, that's the bad part, I guess, for some of us. But the good part is we can make a change just like that, like by simply changing what we focus on, by changing the way that we think, by changing our perception of different things, perspective, we're able to shift our entire lives. So one of the things that I did yesterday, just while recording the video, was I told people to kind of just close their eyes, and hopefully y'all can do it. It's just going to take 15 seconds. But and if don't be doing this while you're driving. If you're driving, don't do it.
Pull over.
But literally 15 seconds. First off, take time, all that negative stuff, put it in your head real quick, all that negative stuff, move it, throw it in the trash. And now we're going to take the next 15 seconds to just envision an amazing life. Everything that we want, act as if it's already here. Like don't sell yourself short. Don't have a weak dream like, oh, well, you know, I just want to have this amount. No, aim for the top, dream it. 15 seconds. We're going to envision it. Who's there? What are the emotions that we're feeling? What does it smell like? What cologne, what perfume we got on? Like, how's it going to feel when you walk into the room? You may be 3 inches taller, feeling like you, whatever it may be. What's your hair going to look like? As detailed as possible for 15 seconds. Envision what your utopia would look like. 15 seconds. I'm going to close my eyes too. Boom.
Okay.
All right. Yo, it's up.
15
Yo,
seconds?
my joint
That's like
amazing.
3.
Yeah. All right, take 5 more. Take 5 more seconds.
Okay.
All right, you should be excited. Yo, and this is the power of energy. Because truth be told, the people that are in this chat, the people, me speaking to you, knowing that my mom's watching, I actually incorporated those people into everything that I was thinking about. And that's the power of energy and projection, because the more you put out positive energy towards other people, the more you can bring value to other people. They're going to believe in you, send that positive energy back our way. And then that's the compounding factor that we're talking about with always growing. So y'all heard enough of me today. Mari going to send them out for the weekend
back,
with
lady.
your sweet, mellow voice. And maybe, yeah, you take it from here.
Okay. Listen to Bag Lady by Erica Badu. Do that. And just have a good day. Have a good weekend. Get outside. Get some of that sun. That is definitely a mood booster. So after this, definitely go outside and enjoy your weekend. That's it.
Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, we appreciate y'all that are in the chat.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all that are just listening. Even if you can't be in the chat, we appreciate y'all. Yo, if you only caught the end of it, make sure that you go back, take a listen, give us some feedback, whether it's negative or positive. It's all positive for us because it's feedback. We want to know your thoughts. We want to figure out how we can make this hour as valuable as possible. So,
Sure.
boom. And shout out to Tafari for that last comment. That's why I mess with you, bro. And shout out to Pop, shout out to Queez, shout out to everybody that's been in here locking
Yes.
in with us. Enjoy y'all weekend. I'm sending positive energy to everybody that's listening right
Yes.
now. It's going to be an amazing day. It's going to be our best Friday ever, guaranteed, because we're setting the intentions for that, and it's going to lead into our best weekend, and then we're going to be excited about Monday. All right, so y'all enjoy it. Tap in with us over the weekend, and yeah, enjoy it.
Enjoy.
All right, hold up, Mar. Let me end this stream. All right, so we're